Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. I am continuing my host set tour with video number 3 out of 4. These are cards from Paper and Ink card class in my Rolling Meadows home studio. I teach classes in the Chicago area, so if you're interested, you can always come and join us. And in the month of July, we focused on some of the gorgeous host sets that are available from Stampin' Up! In the 2018-2019 catalog. This is Seasoned with Kindness. It's a photopolymer 2-step host set. And this is the card that we've made. We're shaking things up a little bit with a fun gatefold. And let's go through the rest of the supplies that you'll need to make this card. Besides Seasoned with Kindness, which you can purchase from Stampin' Up! Using host rewards. The Stampin' Rewards or host rewards are earned on any order over $150. The credit that you earn can be used to purchase this great two-step stamp set. So Seasoned with Kindness, I've got my Subtle Texture Embossing folder. This is a must-have. It turns any cardstock that you have, smooth Stampin' Up! Cardstock, into this gorgeous textured cardstock. You will never have to store smooth and textured cardstock in the same color ever again with this folder. It is a one-time purchase that you will use forever. It's a great texture that can be used with any type of design. This is a number one item for me that I've used the most from the 2018-2019 catalog. New product, love it. Wouldn't be caught without it. Stampin' pads for this project are Granny Apple Green, Basic Gray, Shaded Spruce, Grapefruit Grove, and Tuxedo Black Memento. I also have a little bit of linen thread here. And consumable paper supplies. I have a 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock. This one's a little different. We're scored at 2 1/8 and then scored at 2 1/8. So just flip it around and you're simply scored, and that gives us this fun little gatefold. I think the ladies at Paper and Ink cards are really gonna like this card. It's fun to shake up the fold once in a while, isn't it? All right, so there's a gatefold card base. For the inside, we have 4 by 5 1/4 Whisper White. And then we have Crumb Cake, and this one's 3 7/8 by 3 1/8. And then Whisper White, this is 3 3/4 by 3. I've got a little scrap of Whisper White. That's for stamping our tag here. See this beautiful little Grapefruit Grove tag? So 1 inch by 1 1/4 will do. I've got a scrap of Basic Gray for the pots, and this one you need about, I don't know, this might be a 3 by 3 square. Got a little piece of the Neutrals Designer Series paper. We're going to use this dotted pattern on this one. So we'll have one of each side. And this is 1/2 inch by 3 3/4. All right, let's get the Stampin' Pierce mat and ink pads and do some stamping. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is take that Basic Gray, this is Smoky Slate. Take the Smoky Slate cardstock and the outline for our little pot. We're gonna make 3 little galvanized pots here. So stamp the outline of all 3, and then it's a 2-step stamp. So we're gonna take this one that looks like 3 little columns, ink that up in Basic Gray, and then line them right up on the Smoky Slate, and you get this fun dimensional effect. It's really cool. It makes the pots look round and like they're reflecting the sun. I love this little 2-step. It makes a huge difference. All right, that one's a little off on one side. I want to stamp that one again. It's hard to get right up over it when there's a camera right up over it. All right, much better. So there's our 3 little pots. We'll set those aside. And then on the little scrap, we need this tag. There's a tag that says thanks and one that says for you in this set. I love this. You know me and my little tags. If you hang around Kitchen Table Stamper at all, you know how I feel about little tags. All right, so there's that. Then let's do our main panel here. And if you see, my plants are almost up against the edge. So let's stamp our plants. I'm gonna start in the center with this one that looks like thyme. And what you wanna do is, stamp that off. Start with your lighter color with the thyme and then move into the darker one so that you don't have to clean in between. So we're gonna do our granny apple green, almost touching the top and center, and then we can just stamp off on our scratch paper and move to the shaded spruce. There's our thyme, and then this one looks like sage. This is the outline. We're gonna stamp that one almost to the edge, almost to the top, and then there's a inside two-step. Uh-oh, we don't want gray sage leaves. I need to pay attention what I'm doing here. There we go. There's our granny apple green. Then this one looks like basil. Same thing, shaded spruce for the outline. Almost to the top, almost to the edge. And then for the inside, we're going with that granny apple green again. I love this. Oh my gosh, it's so fresh and beautiful. Okay, while we're stamping, let's grab the inside of the card. And I've got a greeting here. A little kindness seasons everything. See? So we're going to kind of center that basic black on the inside of the card. A little bit high of center, and then bring in our sage leaf again. This is the outside line, so shaded spruce. We'll stamp right underneath. And then the fill-in image we'll do in granny apple green. And there's the inside of our card. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, I am going to grab my snips and my, okay, I've got my little pots and my snips. I'm gonna go ahead and fussy cut these. They're all pretty well straight lines, but I'm gonna cut the 3 pots, clear away the ink pads, grab the Big Shot, and I'll cut back in, and we'll do some embossing. Okay, I'm back here with the Big Shot, and I've got my subtle texture embossing folder. I'm gonna put this so that my score line is out the side of the folder at the very edge. Then I'm gonna put the folder in, leading the way, square it up with the platform, and add 1 cutting pad on top, run it through. Now the gatefold card, if you want the front of your card embossed, you have to go both sides, and you want to choose, for ease, a pattern that doesn't need to be matched up. Now if you want to get really fancy, you could pick a pattern that needs to be matched up. But I love this subtle texture for embossing the front of this gatefold card because I don't have to worry about placement. This subtle texture isn't one that needs to be, isn't a pattern that needs to be lined up. So just put the other side of my gatefold in, square it up with the platform, add a cutting pad over top, and crank it through. Now we've got a beautiful textured card front. All ready to go. Isn't that gorgeous? All right, let's assemble this card. Okay, I've got some snail adhesive. We're gonna start with the inside. Let's add this centered to the center panel of our card. All right, and then we've got our little greenery stamped Whisper White panel. Let's add that to the crumb cake. We're just centering, got a little 1/8 of an inch border around, so center it on there nicely. Then our designer series paper. This time we're gonna do dots up. So I like to show both sides of the paper to the ladies in the class and let them choose which side they want to use. just put that right along the bottom of our panel. It's coming together, looking good. All right, now we're going to add our focal panel to the card, about 1/2 inch down and then centered right to left. But what you want to really be careful with is that you only add your adhesive to the sage side of the crumb cake panel. Now, once you've got your adhesive, center back up your panel and then burnish it down. And ta-da! Isn't that cute? All right, let's take care of these little pots. Oh, you know what I didn't tell you about? I got this little tag, and I'm gonna give that a little fussy cut too. We're just going to, I left the little loops of the bow. I thought it looked kind of cute. All right, not bad. That was pretty easy. With my supplies, I forgot to gather my 1/16 inch hole punch so we can pop a little hole in this tag right where it's illustrated. So there's our little tag. Now I took my linen thread and I wrapped it around my pots and tied a bow. You can just tie little bows and put them on with glue dots, mini glue dots, or you can skip the linen thread altogether if you don't love to tie. So that's your choice. I'm gonna tie around the 3 little pots here. When I put the thread around the last pot, I'm gonna thread through the tag and actually tie it onto the pot. I like that realistic, that the tag is actually tied to the pot with the linen thread. You can use again a mini dimensional or a glue dot and just add the tag, kind of fake it. That's entirely up to you. All right, so I'm gonna tie these 3 and then I'll cut back in. All right, I have a 1/2 of a dimensional on each of these. I wanted to show you that. We're getting them all ready and sticky. And then here's our last pot. So that one's not sticky yet, but I want to show you what I do. So I just tied the thread around the pot with a anchor knot. And then I'm going to put both ends of the linen thread through the tag from the back to the front. And then I'll just proceed and tie my little bow right on top of the tag. Just wanted you to see how I do that. Stuck to my finger. Pull those tails. Looks good. We can trim off the excess. Or we can untie the bow, one or the other. All right, now our little pots, let's get them adhered down. So we'll start with the center one, and then left. And there's our beautiful Season with Kindness gatefold thank you cards. If you've got any questions about the project, or if you've got questions about Stampin' Up host sets or Stampin' Rewards, you can email me, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching.